Welcome to solverfy.
Now, over here in this question, we've been given that there are two crops that are being grown. What are those two crops? Apples and peaches. Okay. So, apples and peaches are being grown in a farm and they are being sold in three different outlets. So we've been given the information regarding the number of bushels of apples that are sent to the three outlets as well as the number of peaches. Also, we've been provided the information of the profit that is made per bushel for apples and peaches. Right? Now, the first part, the question is just asking you to frame a matrix A that represents the number of bushels for each crop that is being shipped to each of the outlets. Right? So as I said, there are two crops over here and there are three outlets. So this will be a 2 by 3 ordered matrix, right? The rows will represent the crops, you can say, and the three columns will represent the three different outlets. So the apples that are being sold at the three different outlets are 125, 100 and 75. And the number of bushels of peaches that are being sold at the three different outlets are 100, 175 and 125. So this is the required matrix. And the entries over here just represent the number of bushels of each crop that are shipped to three different outlets. This is outlet 1, this is outlet 2 and 3. I mean, the columns are representing the outlets, whereas the rows are representing the crops. Fine. Coming on to the B part, now we are supposed to frame a matrix that represents the profit per bushel of each fruit. Fine. So as I said, we've been already given the information of the profit that is made from each crop. So from in the question itself it is already stated that the profit per bushel for apples is $3.5, whereas the profit per bushel for peaches is $6. So simply it will be just a row matrix. 3.50 will be one element and the other element will be 6.00. This is just the row matrix now. And what are the entries of this matrix representing? Simply the entries represent the profit per bushel of each crop. Right? Now, coming on to the C part. I hope this is clear. I'm again repeating the matrix B. I mean the entries of matrix B simply represent the profit that is made per bushel of each crop. Okay? Now, the C part is simply asking you to find out the product of the matrix BA. So I just need to multiply the matrices B with A, 3.50. I'm just ignoring the dollar sign right now for a moment. Okay. And matrix A, 125. I'm just noting down the elements first so that it is easy to multiply it over here. Okay. Now, how do we multiply two matrices? For that, we just take up the dot product of the rows of the first matrix and the columns of the second matrix. First, find out the order of both the matrices. The first one is of the order 1 by 2, whereas the second one is of the order 2 by 3. That means the product matrix is going to have the order 1 by 3. That means just one row over here. So how we are going to do this? Simply 3.50 times 125 plus 6 times 600. So that is going to give you, let's write the dollar sign, 1037.50. Right? The second element will be found out by multiplying the elements of the first row of the first matrix and the second column of the second matrix. So that means what? 3.50 times 100, that means 350 plus 6 times 175. So that will give you $1,400. And the last element, again just for that, take up the dot product of the row of the first matrix and the third column of the second matrix. So 3.50 times 75 plus 6 times 125. 100 what that be? 125. Yeah. So that means 262.5 plus 750. So that will be 1112.50. This is the matrix BA. Now, what are the entries of this matrix representing? Simply, it just represents the profit made from both the crops at each of the three outlets. Profit from both crops at each of the three outlets. Both crops at each of the three outlets, right? So this is your answer.